Okay, Jaws 2, easily the best of the Jaws sequels and a very good movie in its own right. This one set a few years after Brody's oldest son is a teenager, and there's a new shark on the loose in Amity Island, and pretty good movie. It's not a retread of the first movie. We have a more mature Brody that's obviously going through some PTSD, and the knowledge that there's another shark out there and he sees the signs is pushing him over the edge. He knows there's a danger out there and no one believes him. And it's, to be fair to the authorities of Amity Island, it's not like in the first movie where there was more clear evidence. Everything that suggests it could be another shark is circumstantial, which makes me think this movie could have been edited and just reworked without changing much in such a way that you don't see the shark till later in the movie, and it leaves you questioning, are these just coincidence, or is there a shark out there? Is Brody's trauma getting the best of him or not? But I still enjoy it. I think because of the whole paranoid and PTSD aspect, I think Roy Scheider gives a better performance in this than he did in the first movie. And it's nice to see as much of the returning cast as we have. We still do see a lot of the back and forth between him and the city officials. Brody really is more willing to just flat out butt heads in this movie, which shows character growth. However, the one major issue I have with this movie is a deleted scene. There's a part where we see Brody putting poison in the tips of bullets and covering them with wax, and the next day at the beach he thinks he sees the shark, calls the people back on the beach and starts shooting in the water, and it was just bluefish. And then he goes later that day before getting fired to the photographer because in the beginning of the book, the shark kills some divers and their boat's just found in the channel, and that's what kicks off Brody thinking there's a shark. And at this point they had found the camera and Brody finds a picture of the shark and he goes to take it to the city council. And if you watch the scene, the mayor is unusually soft-spoken. He's kind of like quietly like, Brody, please. And Brody's just being more aggressive, and they're actually voting on whether or not to fire him. And in the deleted scene, we see Mayor Vaughn is the only one in favor of not firing Brody, and it's a crime that scene was cut out. Like, it's an experiment with editing I'd like to do. I'd actually like to do a cut of this movie where I actually put that scene back into the film, because I feel that it just makes Mayor Vaughn's behavior at the meeting make more sense, because even in the previous film, when he thought he was right, he was more assertive, but the fact that he's kind of, being soft-spoken, it's like he's trying to calm Brody down without telling him, because he clearly does believe Brody is acting in the best interest of Amity Island, but he's got to convince these other people, and it's probably one of those, this is just what I need. Any chance I had of convincing them to keep Brody has just gone out the window. But I still love the movie, even with that scene removed. I just think that one scene just adds so much more to the movie. But that's just me. They also do something cool where, like, the teenagers in this film, it's basically a hot rod movie on the water in some ways because they have their boats they go on for fun. The boats are painted like hot rods, and none of these boats are particularly what you would want around to have in a Jaws movie. They're either catamarans with canvas bottoms or things the shark can flip easy. So when they get on the water and the shark's going at them, it does create a lot of attention because these are things the shark can just destroy like they're tissue paper. The shark in this one, even from one attack earlier in the movie, has a horrible burn on its face, and it makes the shark feel more like a slasher movie. The actual animatronic shark, I feel, feels like it's a bit more complex than the one from the first movie. In fact, they even just visually it's more complex because in the first movie the hinges for the jaws, which they call is known as the shark with the jowls. In this one, like, you don't see those hinges. They better covered it up. In the big burn scar gives this shark its own unique personality. And like I said, it makes it more like a slasher villain, especially how it's stalking and picking apart the teenagers on the boats. This is really a slasher movie set on the water, and it's a good setting. The musical score is phenomenal. I love the opening theme before the divers get attacked. It captures the beauty, the majesty, and the ambience of this underwater environment. And the characters, for the most part, are not that bad. Now, this character here, Tina, like, a lot of people seem to hate her for not pulling her boyfriend on the boat when he gets knocked off, and then she's just thinking of herself now because she's crying, make it go away. Yeah, you'd freak out too, and people who are that scared are not going to think clearly, so I can kind of give her a pass. And if she had pulled him into the boat after the shark had already latched onto him, she just would have been pulled in and with him, and then the shark would have gotten her. And that being said, even her screaming and her crying, I don't find it that annoying, or at least I don't find it anywhere near as annoying as Veronica Cartwright is in Aliens, in the first Alien movie. It's one of the reasons I don't love that movie like a lot of people, because the character of Lambert and her crying and whining just has this very abrasive effect on me. But I'm talking about another movie, and compared to Lambert, especially with this character who we don't get much of that, I don't have a problem. The finale is pretty good. How they kill the shark is foreshadowed earlier on, and it's executed really well. It's actually a very interesting way to kill the shark. I know the movie's old, and it's not really a spoiler at this point, but for those who are watching this and may not have seen it, I think you'll be surprised. This is a B+ film, solid A, somewhere around there. One of my favorite sequels, my second favorite shark movie. So, like, share, comment, subscribe, over and out.